Yeah. Hello. Well, I hope no one answers me back. Let's have a look. Well, I think the first thing we're going to do is have a cup of tea, wait for it to get a little bit lighter. Even though it looks like light now, but it's not. It's still a little bit on the dark side. But yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. The paint has definitely survived the winter. It's not even been buffed, which is good news. Looking good. We'll just take a quick look at this side. This is ready for the switches. That side is ready for the switches, which is here. So this here again is an acrylic edge rather than wood. That will go down once we've two-packed the front window frame. Once this has been done, that's ready to go. But we're still at the moment we're still fighting the temperatures. It's just the winter is ridiculous. I don't know why we don't just cancel January and February every year like Romans used to, didn't they? The Romans didn't have a January and February until they wanted to attack the Spanish, and they had a couple of months in. But anyway, so here, this is really for the instrumentation. There goes my phone. Here and here will be basically the panels for the engines, and then we're going to have a Raymarine unit here. Raymarine, power bank display, switches, whatever we need for inside. There's no reason we can't actually start thinking about putting some wires in this section at some point when we get bored. But yep, the acrylic trims look good, don't they? I like them. Impervious to water, impervious to UV. And bear in mind, looking around these windows, we've got marine window tint at 35s. I think it's 35 going in all the way around. And that will help that out a lot. Okay, bottom side. Let's have a look. This is really a bit of a catch up for people which have been watching it. This side down here. Well, I'll just bring it down. Let's have a look what we got. Looks a little different than what it was when we first bought the vessel. Coming down into the aft cabin, which is the stateroom on the drawings. Again, big old storage area. All got to go. All got to go. All this stuff came out of the engine bay. I think the next video for this one will probably be in a couple of weeks anyway, because I've got a lot of catching up to do, a lot of clearing out to do before we actually progress with anything else. Today, we're going in the engine bay, and that's what we're going to be looking at. Let's have a look outside at the props. And then let's look inside the engine bay. We need to get the couplings, all the flanges off. We need to get the flanges off. I've got all the kit to do it, hopefully. I do think the sun's coming out. The trouble is, we've got 2 more weeks of awful weather. Anybody in the UK is going to know the weather we've had. It's not just the UK. We've had bad weather in Europe. We've had it everywhere. Amsterdam's got it. Everywhere's got it. It's not just here. It's the whole of Europe. So terrible. Let's go and have a look at the props. I'll take you with me. The boat's looking, oh, a bit of sun. She's looking a bit green, isn't she? That'll soon come off. Brook Marine. Ocean Pirate. Look at the green. Look at the top. Big scrub coming. Right, down we go. Right, let's just take a look at these props now. This is This has been a problem, or will be a problem. If you notice, I've actually put some chock blocks underneath the props. That's because I've got to get a socket set and let's move this rudder. I've got to get a socket set to take off the flange, so I want them chopped. So I don't want them moving. That's probably the first time they've moved in 10 years. We look at the prop, we can see here we've got a number. You can see it better, I do believe. Get it out the right way. 23, sorry. It's 23 by 26.5. Ignore the other numbers. We know the shaft's 2.5 inch shaft. So 23 is actually the width of the prop, how far it's across. And the other number, which is the 26.5, is the pitch, how deep this is here. If you look at the side, that's the pitch. There's too much. We'll talk about the engines at some point, but basically the engines are going in the 140s, they're 145s actually, because they've got remapped ECUs. So with the back pressure kit and everything else, they're just under 2 engines, just under 300 horsepower. Now the original engines I had in line for this were 190s, but they were not as efficient as the ones I bought, believe it or not. And the ones I bought are brand spanking new, but they can't work with them. Even the 190s couldn't work with them. They were designed to go on a 380 horsepower engine. They're very good for trawlers and stuff like that, and high speed racing boats, which this was, when you've got an engine what can guggle through 25 to 50 gallons an hour in fuel. And hence this boat had 3,500 litres of tanks. You're not filling them up, we're not putting them back in, we're not putting 3,500 litres of use of fuel back in this boat. We'll probably be a third of that.
We haven't got a socket for the flange nuts today, so we're going to leave that for today and then move on to something else. Now, this side, if we take a look at this side, show you, we've got to put a new board in along here, an 18mm. But we've got to do exactly the same if we step over to this side here as well. And this is where the heaters will go, which I'll explain when I start digging things out and cutting things out. So we've cleared this area, we'll have this boards up, and we're going to get in there with a hammer, a chisel, a grinder, anything else we need. It's got to come out. And yeah, it's got to come out. It's got to come out. First one. Now this here, this is the old, I mean it's full of muck, look, absolutely full of muck. That was from the rear fuel tank. Basically it's already been capped off, so it wasn't used in later days obviously, but we're just gonna, we don't want it. It looks ugly. In the bin. Next one's down here, which is onto the tank. Now this one is actually capped off. So I'm going to leave, that one's capped off. If we look down here, obviously I've got to take that one off here as well. We don't want any of that. They're all capped off, but they just look blooming ugly. So we're going to get rid of them as well. You notice there's no sparks, that's because it's all aluminium. But what we do is we fill that, we smooth it off and do something with that. What else is coming out of here? That stays, we'll clean that up. There's nothing wrong with that. Brackets can stay. I think we need to start thinking about these pipes. Okay, we need to get right underneath there and have a look. little tip here. When you do anything with a I mean, aluminium doesn't spark anyway, but when you do use a grinder, you're still going to make things hot. Don't do it the last thing on your boat of the day. Do it well before you leave. Always give a boat an hour fire watch just in case. And I've got fire extinguishers too on this boat, and I've got wet blankets as well down there. So yeah, you don't want to be doing that, just going away, think, oh yeah, I'm all done for the day, and all of a sudden something got a little bit too hot, just poof, off it goes. Right, this is underneath the battery bay, or it was the battery bay. You can see there's a bit of repair work being done under here. All this has got to come out. This here, it's all going to come out, so don't bother with that now. That's all coming out anyway. This can all come out. Let's see if there's anything else we need to cut out of here. We've got them at the bottom. This is pipes. We don't need any of it, so we'll wop them off as well. We'll get rid of them. The old water pipes for the shower. There you go. The other side. They're gone. I don't know what that one there is. That looks like a water pipe of some sort, but that can all go. I don't want any of them. This is obviously for a bilge pump, I'd say. We've got one either side. We will use that. This one here. This one's going to be for the heater, which will be mounted here above. And if you look around that side where the cable's coming in, that's also for the heater as well. Plus we've got two bilge pump functions there. One's coming from the bunker, one on the left is coming from the aft cabin, which we need, and the one to the right will be the one for inside here, which we will definitely need. In them tide seals, these babies decide to fail. These brackets we'll leave them for now, we don't know, might be useful. For what, I don't know. What we've got at the back there. Right, so we've got another outlet here. We're not doing away with any of these because I think we're going to use them, but we'll work out what for. There's the tank. This is the fuel inlet pipe for the central tank, and this here, we don't need that. We end up blocking that off, I think. That's for a fuel sample. You can sample your fuel. You can pump some fuel out in this when they're racing. You can check they're not putting nothing. They shouldn't be in the tank. There's one on every tank. Okay. Let's get these bits cleared out of the way. We head down. Oh, we'll take this out as well. We don't want any of this in here. I don't throw cables away, but that's a nice long run. Take that off. Let's get the deadly little bits out the way. On you go. Bye bye. Bye bye. So what we need, a bit of work down there. We cut them nuts off. We get that one off there as well. I've already tried taking them screws out, they don't come out. I'm going to cut them off. Let's see what's written on this. Do not remove. Well, that's obvious, isn't it? I mean, do not remove. I mean, if you remove the floor, fall down, wouldn't it? Yeah. Need to treat all these, get all this bloody. Oh, it could be a day down here. More than that, look at all the. Yeah, and these are all painting. The nice thing about this though, there's a bonus here. The engine's going into this fully liquid cooled, and they're going to look handsome sitting here. But it means I can insulate all this with soundproofing and winter insulation, giving the boat some real protection from winter, which would be really nice. I've got some stuff to do though. If you're wondering what that box is, I put that box up at the very, very beginning. This was for the Penta engines. And inside there I've got some solenoids and bits and pieces. And I made that board up. That's all got to come out now. None of it is going to stay. I will probably keep the box down here. Over this side. There'll be some sort of other shelving going in, because I think this will be where our water heater goes, our clarifier, which we can make up ready before the engines go in. Let's have a think about these engines. How are we going to do it? See, this is a typical mild steel fittings on aluminium, totally corroded. That's what happens. Mild steel and aluminium don't go together. Oh God, some better days than that. Right, what's next? There we go. That stays. Bit of rubbish. Bit of rubbish. That will keep. That's the filing system completed. There you go. That stinks of diesel. Okay. Next. Tools. Tools. Okay, these are actually marked. Leave them here anyway. Oh, blimey. Hammer on that one, I think. And that one. That's a typical winter thing. It swells up a bit. Bush. Hammer. Nice thing about these is they're nice and solid, and so are these. Right, we have some space. Cut that out there. It's going to be, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just need to get it cleared. Doesn't matter. I'm now thinking about the engines, you know. I think there, that's it. Yeah. Every time the coupling goes on, you sit about here, I'll have a bit of a gap in the front of these. Wow. Yeah. I'm thinking. Do you know something? I'm thinking something now. I'm thinking something. I'm thinking how, I've been thinking this for a little while. How do I bring the engines in? Through the roof, I'd have to remove this, or at least one of these. Then when the engines come in, I'd have to build a frame inside. I need to move the engines from left to right. However, I've just had a thought. I'm now looking at this size here. Let's have a measure. So, 700, the engines. This is 800. I need 700. They're 700 wide. Well, they're just under 700 wide. They're 690. So, they can go in. That means I can bring through this door this way and come in at an angle and straight down. That is a plan. It's like deja vu from last time, and I was over that side last year. So, my temporary inlet pipes. I think they're history now. Alright. Bit of temporary batten we used when I first got the boat. Done the job. This one belongs down the other end here. When we put this bit of flooring, that belongs down there. So we release that one as number 4. And they are in good condition. Now, this baby here to come out. don't think it's any too difficult somehow. Screwed in there, but we'll soon deal with that. So what we've got to do is get this out, and it's the same as before when we've done the other side. This has got to come out, this has got to come out. All this here, everything you see, will be a critical PVC, including all around the door frames, the whole lot. Because over the years, when the boat was, you know, just left to rot, this is where the water got into the boat. It was through these doors, because the door sills are gone. But it also gets into the boat if the door is open and it's raining, and it hits this point here. And water has to go somewhere, and it always goes down. So if you go with wood, this has survived very well, to be honest. The other side wasn't so good, but we're not using it. So we're going to hit this first. Be about a minute, plate might be handy. We get that off, it's only screwed on. That we'll reuse. It's aluminium. This is the problem with aluminium, and then people use mild steel screws. They corrode. This is what happens to it. And you can see there, it's now slowly burning its way. How easy that was to come off. It's slowly burning its way through the aluminium. And if you look at the old Land Rovers, like Series 3s and 2s and 2As and stuff like that, or even some of the more newer ones, they use a lot of aluminium with mild steel rivets, and it just rusted to anything then. And the same as the chassis, the mild steel chassis on an aluminium body, the reaction was awful. Yeah. Right, here we go. This has been, I'll tell you what, they've had a fire in here. There's been a fire or something. Something's happened in this boat. This is smoke damage. This is all smoke damage. Look at that. Look at it. Yeah, that's soot. Now, I was looking through the logs, and the starboard engine always had trouble. And I think it was, you know, it's just one of them things, probably a Friday engine or something. But I'm looking at this. This is definitely fire. Something happened in the engine bay on this side. It's all been repainted and cleaned, but now I'm starting to see areas. When we have a look down here, there's definitely smoke damage around there as well. And yeah, okay, that explains why they put a new piece in at the back. At the very, very far back in, there's some new bits been put in. Well, not new now. Yeah, and it's one of them. That's another reason for the engine choice. You know, think about these engines. The original Cummins what was in here. Now I did actually write to Cummins. I emailed them, and they didn't get back to us. And so I priced up service kits for Cummins engines, and it's about £3,000, and you'd probably have to set every year. Just not practical. It's just not practical. You know, it's just another boat killer. Okay, what's next? Let's get this out. Let's see if we can punch this one. That's what I did better. I think this one here. Yeah, same as before. I'm going to get another. It's bonded in. That's okay. We can do it. We'll get the rest of these little fixtures out. Oh, look, don't even need a hammer. And look at that one at the back. Look at that. It's gone. I won't too much. Let me find to hold the plates in, but not to the extent I can't. Might have to rephone it. We're not ready for that yet. There'll be a diesel heater. That will sit. Obviously, it's going to be here somewhere. Could even be here where it's a bit higher. And it will sit so the exhaust comes out through here, down and out. The diesel lines will come up from the diesel tank through and up to there. And the air vent will be here. But these vents, I only actually need one vent because I'm only feeding the engine's air. So I probably won't vent it down. I'll probably have it so I'll have one of the vents will still be on the boat, still be usable if I want to use them, but I'll probably block 2 or 3 of them up and just have one grilled. And then here, rather than have a funnel coming in, I'll have vents in the wood itself, in the board. So it's drawing air through, it's also keeping the soundproofing down, and the air is doing what it should be doing, it's getting into the engine bay. This will be covered. Okay, let's move on. Let's position the camera somewhere. I bet you're getting bored, aren't you? It's a bar time. Not that sort of bar, unfortunately. Metal bar. Power off. I do believe now standing where the engine on the starboard side will go. We do know they're 140s or 145s, whatever they are. Vetus. We do know that they are around 700 and this is 800. We can fit them in here. There's the engines. Now, as for the auxiliaries on that, I do believe they're just under 700s actually. We do know they're a metre long, 900. So at 900 they're going to be this length. Yeah, in, twist, down. What I'm now thinking, I do know there's some welding to do in this boat. Some bits I'm going to have to weld before the engines come because I need brackets and stuff on for the waterworks and stuff like that. Other stuff will tend to be bolted, or maybe I'll weld after the engine's ready as long as I'm not in that area. But what I will do is I will make shims for the engines, like shaped, something for them to sit on to try and keep the angles, and then I can actually, I might even get away with what I've got down here with some very, very small modifications to what's existing. So I don't want to be going too far with making stuff and welding bits up and whatever just to see. I will just have some wood shims at angles ready for the engines to come down, and I can clamp the engines in place using clamps, and I know exactly where I am. So I think our priority now on the next video, without a doubt, is to get the flanges off the shafts, measure everything, contact the right people, get the flanges in. I think the flanges are now more important than the props. Okay, the props are always going to be custom built for this boat. It's always going to be a custom build. 4-blader, 22 to 23 inches wide, pitch about 16 or 17 I would say, not 20 or what it is now. Rightio. Cup of tea, floor down. And then we're talking about what's happening in about 4 weeks time. No pressure. Alright, good old days. One of this works. Stop recording. Stop recording. Please stop recording. Maybe once please. It doesn't do anything, does it? Just okay. Stop. Well, we made a bit of a hit. We've started. That's the main thing. How long this weather's going to drag out as bad as this? I predicted what I've been looking at 3 or 4 weeks of absolute disastrous, wet, windy, horrible weather, preventing us from doing anything really useful and positive on the outside. But slowly, the damp air should start dispersing. We can get back to the inside and get on with more of this sort of stuff and whatever. But it's going to be the engine bay next time, and it'll be the engine bay the time after that. I didn't have the right tools today to take that big nut off the shaft. I will bring that with me next time. So we get them flanges off, we get the props measured, we get everything measured, and then we're going to be looking at ordering a few couplings to go onto the Vetus gearboxes. As always, take care. You're important for the channel, important to me. Really appreciate you all being there. I really do mean that. And yeah, take care of yourselves. See you soon.